All right. Hello and welcome everyone to another of the 2022 builds refreshes. Today, we have to talk about Frost. So, Frost is let's call him defensive Warframe. We're going to go with that. Frost is also not very good. I have made many content on this in the past, various streams. I have a rework video for him that I still think is quite relevant in terms of doing that easily. There's a lot of stuff for Frost out there, and most of it is complete dog shit. But let's talk about Frost. If you'd like to play him for whatever reason, he is in not great shape, and you're going to need a Nataruk or similarly extremely powerful weapon. And this is going to be more so the Warframe of this build than anything else. Whatever extremely powerful weapon you choose, the Trumna, the Tsar, the Kuvazar, of course, you know, the Kuva Ogress, you know, whatever mass murder weapon you've got in your arsenal that you want to use, the Mushroom Gun, whatever you want, those are really going to be the star of the show here. But if you want to use Frost, this is an okay way to do that. This uses Frost's new augment, which is, you know, kind of an admission of Frost not doing basically anything, because this just straight up gives Frost 200% critical chance and 200% critical damage against all frozen enemies. Notably, you can't freeze most of like the important enemies in the game. They don't do that. They don't support that at all. So this will do literally nothing against any of those enemies, such as, like, you know, of course, the Acolytes, which are going to be a part of the test that we're going to be doing, of course. But otherwise, I have gotten rid of Frost 2, and you can get rid of Frost 2 for any variety of things. I mean, honestly, whatever you subsume onto him is probably going to be better than his entire kit most of the time. So, Breach Surge, Gloom, Gauss's 3, Thermal Sunder, that one, any number of things like Roar, a whole suite of it. You can build him around any number of those different abilities, and he can be a worse version of a different Warframe if you'd like. But the thing that Frost is going to do, usually, is you're going to use Avalanche. It's going to freeze a bunch of dudes, and then they're not going to kill you, and you're going to kill them. Couple that with Snow Globe. This gives you a nice, comfy place to hide, because you are a Warframe that is on the brink of death at pretty much all times, as it is very, very easy to kill Frost whenever he is not behind a sheet of ice. And then you have Freeze. So Freeze, this is usually pretty much just going to be used to just pop your Snow Globes that are in really inconvenient positions, because this is a huge downside for you because you can't shoot through it. Unfortunately, from the outside, of course, you can shoot through it from inside. If you couldn't do that, oh boy, be an even worse discussion. Now, there are a variety of other ways that you could play Frost. You can add Freeze Force. This will make it so that his one gives you cold damage. But instead of that, you should probably just subsume Thermal Sunder onto him and then utilize that augment for that ability and get way more damage than you're going to get out of Freeze Force, and also better damage types too. And then we've got Chilling Globe. This is useless. If an enemy's in your globe, just hit 3 again. And then Icy Avalanche. So this, every enemy you hit with your 4 would give you like an Iron Skin-esque ability, but it scales pitifully and is totally useless. Don't bother. We are going to talk about one of the other builds that exist that is not good. The other build that exists that is not good is that technically Snow Globe on enemies that are in it will push them back, and when they get pushed back, it does percentile damage to them. If you use a primer weapon like a Kuva Nucor or some such other thing and inflict a bunch of viral and all this other shit onto them, and then do this, it will theoretically kill enemies of pretty much any level that are vulnerable to that. However, doing that is super slow and not relevant in any content that I would consider relevant. If you are going to take Frost to level 5,000 content, go enjoy yourself. Don't waste your time posting a comment on this video. Go do that. Go enjoy yourself. Go have a great time. Just go enjoy it. Please. But for the rest of you, don't bother to do that. It sucks. So yeah, that's Frost. I wouldn't bother. Use Aegis, use Energize. He has horrible energy economy. He has like a tiny, pitiful energy pool for him being a caster Warframe. That is just the relics of a bygone age of when Frost was released. And then Aegis can just help keep you alive, because sometimes you'll want that and / need that. Also, another thing people will bring up that we should just go over. Avalanche strips armor, but, fun fact, it strips armor at one of the most colossally shitty rates in the entire game. You need to get to like 250% strength in order for this to completely strip armor. And at that point, I would be better off subsuming Shuriken and using its augment to strip armor. Or, in fact, just shooting a gun at enemies that doesn't need the armor stripped. But it is, 57% armor reduction. It's not the worst in the world. It's not awful. It's not giving us, shields back or anything. It's not doing pillage. Pillage would be really nice. And you can also throw pillage on him if you'd like, but kind of counterintuitive when you're already stripping at least a little bit of armor with Avalanche. But yeah, it's a bad time. Plain and simple, it's a bad time. I think Frost is bad. I think Frost needs help. But yeah, this is the build. It's not like it doesn't work. I mean, I'm using a Nataruk. Of course it works. These enemies are vulnerable to this. It freezes them. Shoot the Nataruk. Once its damage is ramped up, it will kill them. Everyone gets the Nataruk because of the new war. So if you'd like to slice it that way, Frost is a viable Warframe as long as he's holding this. And I guess that's how you're going to have to slice it, because, I mean, honestly, playing Frost any other way is just miserable. Also, if any of you have been a victim of just an absolute crime and someone told you to stand on the defense point and press 3 every about 3 seconds or so that the pod doesn't die, and then you did that for like 4 to 6 hours, don't do that. Like, I mean, I guess if you like it, if you're watching Netflix while you're doing that, I guess. But anytime like a gameplay loop can be summed up as, man, if I was allowed to use a macro to automate this, it would be really, really easy. It's probably dog shit gameplay. Anyway, enjoy the Steel Path run. It's more of a Nataruk showcase because this weapon rules. And for any of you that are looking for that build, I do have another video talking about the Nataruk and why it's so good. But here you go. Here you go. Something of value here in this video. Enjoy yourselves. But yeah, go and check out the Steel Path run, I suppose. And I'll see you tomorrow for a much better Warframe. Goodbye.
Predictable. As expected, the unit shut down the environmental systems, sending modified Activating it will buy you more time. Prepare for life support. I've delivered another life support capsule. Making progress. This will help our cause. When you need it, extraction is ready. share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
Greater. This is good.